You may not fully understand what's happening in your life right now, but there is a subtle, undeniable shift occurring. It's quiet at first, almost imperceptible, like the first hint of dawn breaking over a dark horizon. And yet, if you pause, if you take a moment to silence the chatter of your mind, you will feel it. An inner stirring, a gentle but persistent tug that something far greater is about to unfold. This is not a word for everyone. Not all will recognize it. But for those who have been handpicked, chosen from the very beginning for a purpose beyond their imagination, this is your moment of awakening. This message is reserved for the chosen ones, the select few whom God Himself has called, whose lives are destined to move in alignment with His supernatural plans. Perhaps you've noticed a restlessness stirring in your spirit, a sense that the life you are living is no longer sufficient to contain the calling within you. Maybe it manifests as urgency pressing you forward, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Perhaps it feels like exhaustion, the heavy weight of waiting and enduring through seasons of silent disappointment or delay. These are not random feelings, nor are they signs of weakness. They are the first signs of divine acceleration. Your spirit knows it. You feel a fire burning from within a fire that refuses to be extinguished by the limitations of yesterday, by the setbacks of your past, or by the doubts that whisper around you. It is God's way of saying that the season of merely walking through life is ending, and a new pace, a new level is being appointed to you. This is not a simple change in circumstance. This is a shift orchestrated from heaven itself. The restlessness you feel, the urgency that propels you forward, the quiet tension that refuses to let you settle. These are all signals that something supernatural is occurring. You are being positioned to move faster, to rise higher, and to step into opportunities and divine assignments that previously seemed unattainable. What once felt slow, what once required years, may now unfold in moments. Doors that were once closed are beginning to creak open. Prayers that seemed unanswered are now being answered in real time. Your pace, your purpose, your very destiny is about to experience acceleration, and it will not come from your effort, your strategy, or your timing. It will come from the hand of God, the author of all seasons, who is ready to move powerfully on your behalf. So lean in, quiet your mind, open your heart. If you are hearing this message, it is because you have been chosen. You have been called, and the fire that burns within you is not for nothing. The time is near, and heaven is shifting you from walking to running. Get ready, for your life is about to enter a season of supernatural acceleration that will surpass anything you have imagined. As you begin to sense this stirring within you, it is important to first recognize the faithfulness you have demonstrated in the seasons that brought you here. You have walked through valleys of waiting, endured moments of quiet despair, and shed tears in seasons that seemed long and unending. You have remained faithful even when the world did not see, even when the answers you longed for seemed delayed. Every step of obedience, every moment of patience, every act of trust in the unseen hand of God has prepared you for what is coming. The years of preparation, the quiet diligence, and the unseen endurance were never wasted. They were laying the foundation for a supernatural shift, a divine acceleration that is now ready to transform your journey. And this is where the pace begins to change. No longer are you simply walking in the rhythm of ordinary life. The season of slow, incremental progress is ending, and heaven is inviting you to run. From this moment forward, What once took months may unfold in days. What once took days may happen in moments. The shift you have been sensing in your spirit is real, and it is purposeful. This is not a metaphorical suggestion. It is a literal invitation to step into a speed and momentum that surpasses the natural, a movement orchestrated directly by the hand of God. Scripture affirms this divine timing in Isaiah 60:22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Notice that it is God Himself who sets the appointed moment. It is not determined by your hustle, your planning, or your strategy. It is a moment of heaven's declaration that now is the time, and everything aligns according to His will. The timing is perfect, precise, and unstoppable. As this acceleration unfolds, you will begin to see doors that once remained closed swing wide open. Prayers that seemed delayed will be answered in real time. Obstacles that weighed you down will be removed almost as if by divine engineering, clearing your path for the destiny that was written before you were formed. Every barrier, every limitation, every season of waiting is being transformed into a launch pad for supernatural advancement. The key insight here is profound. This acceleration does not come from human effort, from striving, or from trying harder. It is not dependent on your plans, your connections, or your perseverance alone. It flows from the hand of God. Heaven itself is moving, and you are being called to move in sync with it. When you respond, you will experience the supernatural momentum of divine acceleration, the kind that transforms waiting into abundance, silence into revelation, and ordinary steps into extraordinary outcomes. To truly grasp the magnitude of what is happening in your life, it is essential to understand how God has always moved with supernatural speed for those He chooses. History and Scripture are filled with examples where divine acceleration defied every natural expectation, demonstrating that when God steps in, impossibilities become realities. These stories are not merely tales from the past. They are blueprints for how heaven operates when it intervenes in human lives. Consider Joseph, who endured years of betrayal, false accusations, and imprisonment. From a pit of despair and confinement, God elevated him to a position of unimaginable authority, placing him in the palace of Pharaoh. What should have taken decades of effort, strategy, and influence was accomplished in God's appointed time in a way that stunned all who witnessed it. Joseph's journey shows that divine speed often follows seasons of faithful endurance, and that God can transform hardship into a launchpad for destiny. Similarly, reflect on Joshua and the Israelites as they faced the seemingly insurmountable obstacle of the Jordan River. What human wisdom deemed impossible, God made possible. At His command, the waters parted, creating a clear path for His people to enter their promised inheritance. Divine acceleration is never constrained by natural laws. It moves boldly, creatively, and decisively, often in ways that leave ordinary understanding behind. The story of Peter provides yet another vivid picture. After an entire night of fruitless labor, Peter followed Jesus' instruction to cast his nets once more. The result was a miraculous catch that overflowed beyond what could be contained, illustrating how God can turn moments of exhaustion, doubt, or failure into instant, abundant provision. Heaven works in ways that surpass human effort, multiplying what seems too little and converting waiting into breakthrough. Even Elijah's story underscores this principle. In 1 Kings 18:46, we read that the hand of the Lord came upon him, and he outran King Ahab's fastest chariot on foot. Not because Elijah possessed extraordinary natural strength or superior training, but because the Spirit of God carried him. When God moves, the ordinary rules no longer apply. The limitations of time, resources, and physical ability bend to his will. The key takeaway is clear, divine acceleration overrides every natural expectation. What seemed impossible becomes normal. What appeared unreachable now falls within your grasp. And the encouragement is equally profound. You will not simply catch up to where others are. You will surpass them. God Himself is moving you, aligning every step, every moment, and every blessing in your favor. Those who have seemed ahead will marvel as you rise not by your own strength, but because heaven itself is propelling you forward at a speed only He can orchestrate. Before you can fully step into the acceleration God has prepared for you, it is crucial to understand the purpose behind the seasons of waiting and apparent silence that have marked your journey. What may have felt like delay, stagnation, or even disappointment was never wasted. These periods were sacred preparation, orchestrated by God to ready your heart, mind, and spirit for the speed and responsibility that lies ahead. Every moment of waiting was intentional. Every season of quiet designed to cultivate the resilience and discernment necessary to thrive in divine acceleration. The essence of this preparation lies in the building of character and the establishment of a firm foundation. God's acceleration is not simply about moving faster. It is about moving with wisdom, integrity, and strength. That is why He takes time to strengthen your character, mature your spirit, and anchor your identity in Him. Without this grounding, speed can lead to chaos and opportunity. Without preparation, can become a trap. By refining your heart, He ensures that the blessings, responsibilities, and influence you are about to receive will be sustainable and aligned with your divine purpose. Look to David as a timeless example of this principle. Before he was crowned king, he spent years in solitude tending sheep and cultivating a heart after God's own. He endured moments of trial, rejection, and hidden service in the wilderness, learning patience, humility, and the ways of God. It was during these quiet seasons that his character was molded, his faith strengthened, and his understanding of divine timing deepened. By the time he stepped into the palace and took up the crown, he was fully equipped to rule with wisdom and discernment, prepared for the acceleration that God had designed. Now that same principle applies to you. God has been laying the groundwork in your life, quietly, faithfully, deliberately, so that when the appointed time arrives, you will not stumble under the weight of speed or responsibility. Every trial, every season of silence, every delay was preparing you to respond in alignment with His plan. And now, the transition point has arrived. God Himself declares, "Run." The season of waiting has ended, and it is time to act in obedience to move boldly forward with the momentum He has already set in motion. The foundation is ready, the character is forged, and the Spirit of God is poised to carry you beyond what you could accomplish in your own strength. This is the moment where preparation meets opportunity. The delay was never denial. It was divine orchestration. The training, the refinement, the quiet labor of your soul has equipped you for acceleration. Now, God is calling you to move, to run with confidence, knowing that everything He has done in the hidden seasons of your life has led you to this exact point. Even as the moment of acceleration approaches, it is natural for hesitation to arise. You may feel the weight of fear pressing against your spirit, questioning whether you are ready for this rapid shift. Acceleration often feels uncomfortable, fast, and unfamiliar, because it is unlike anything you have experienced before. Your soul has grown accustomed to walking slowly, to waiting patiently, and to pacing itself in what feels like manageable steps. Now, God is calling you to run, and that sudden change can trigger doubt, uncertainty, and even resistance. Recognizing this hesitation is not a weakness. It is simply a human response to stepping into a season of divine momentum. Yet Scripture provides us with clear examples of the consequences of hesitation and the power of obedience. Consider the Israelites at the border of the Promised Land in Numbers 13. God commanded them to go in and possess the land, but fear of the giants and uncertainty about the unknown held them back. Their hesitation led to 40 years of wandering, not because God had changed his mind, but because they failed to move when he said move. Similarly, Lot's wife looked back in the midst of her departure and missed the opportunity for transformation and preservation. Just one moment of fear and distraction cost her a place in the unfolding plan of God. These examples serve as powerful reminders that divine acceleration waits for no one, and that destiny is responsive to obedience, not to hesitation, comfort, or perceived readiness. The principle here is profound. God's timing and movement are not contingent upon your perfection, your confidence, or your preparation alone. He is calling you to trust him and step forward even when the path feels uncertain. Fear is natural. It is human to hesitate in the face of rapid change. But obedience is mandatory for those who are chosen to move with heaven's momentum. You are not required to have every answer or to feel fully ready. Your responsibility is to respond to the voice of God. The key point is that divine acceleration requires action in alignment with God's command. The obstacles that seem daunting, the uncertainties that feel overwhelming, and the fears that try to root you in place are all part of the refining process. When God says run, hesitation is no longer an option. You must trust his hand, believe in his timing, and obey, knowing that each step taken in faith propels you forward into the fullness of your destiny. Your future is waiting, and the pace of heaven is already set. Will you respond, or will fear keep you behind? As you continue to move forward in obedience, it is crucial to understand that acceleration is not just about speed. It is about divine alignment. God is orchestrating every detail of your life with precision. Timing, favor, connections, and provision are all being arranged according to his perfect plan. Nothing is left to chance. Every opportunity that is coming your way has been divinely positioned, and every step you take in alignment with his will places you exactly where you need to be to receive the blessings he has prepared. This is not about human effort or striving. It is about recognizing God's orchestration and moving in harmony with it. Consider the story of Esther, who rose from obscurity to become queen at the exact moment her people needed her most. She did not engineer her rise. She walked in obedience, in alignment with God's timing, and the impact of her courage altered the course of a nation. Abraham's journey provides another powerful example. He left behind the familiar, stepping into an unknown land solely on the promise and instruction of God. Each move he made was a step into divine positioning, a testament to the power of trust and alignment over comfort or certainty. Likewise, Peter stepped out of the boat onto the stormy waters, obeying Jesus' call, even when the circumstances seemed impossible. In each case, the acceleration that followed was a direct result of moving at the right time in the right place, with a heart attuned to God's voice. The story of Ruth further illuminates this principle. Ruth did not chase favor or manipulate circumstances to her advantage. She simply gleaned in the field God directed her to. Her alignment with God's provision allowed her to encounter Boaz at precisely the right moment. Within a single chapter, she transitioned from a foreign widow gathering scraps to becoming part of the lineage of royalty. This demonstrates that divine acceleration favors alignment over effort, timing over striving, and obedience over human ambition. The principle is clear. True acceleration combines divine timing, strategic positioning, and wholehearted obedience. When you understand that God is not only orchestrating the events of your life, but also arranging the people, places, and opportunities around you, hesitation loses its grip. You begin to see that the blessings you have longed for are already on their way, perfectly synchronized to meet you where you are. Moving in alignment with God ensures that when the moment of acceleration arrives, you are not only ready to run, you are perfectly positioned to soar. Now that you understand preparation, obedience, and divine alignment, it is time to step fully into kingdom acceleration. This is not merely about moving faster or catching up to what others have achieved. It is about moving with purpose under God's direction in a way that fulfills your unique assignment. When God calls you to run, He is calling you to operate in a supernatural rhythm where every step aligns with His kingdom purposes. This is not ordinary movement. This is strategic kingdom-driven acceleration that will impact not only your life, but the lives of those around you. The evidence of divine momentum becomes unmistakable once you begin to respond. Mountains that once blocked your path begin to shift. Barriers that seemed immovable crumble, and chains that bound your potential fall away as the Spirit of God moves powerfully on your behalf. The momentum is not symbolic. It is tangible and unstoppable. Psalm 23:5 reminds us, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." This is more than a comforting verse. It is a declaration that God is arranging favor and provision in ways that surpass natural understanding. Even in the midst of opposition or scrutiny, He is actively setting everything in your favor, preparing the place of abundance and breakthrough before you arrive. Kingdom acceleration, however, is not only demonstrated through dramatic external breakthroughs, it also begins within. Internal surrender is the foundation that allows divine momentum to operate without obstruction. Obedience in the small, unseen areas of life, daily discipline, faithfulness in responsibilities, generosity in circumstances that seem insignificant, trains your spirit to move with God when the season of acceleration comes. It is consistency in spiritual habits, devotion in quiet moments, and integrity in choices that ensures your readiness when heaven releases full speed into your journey. The practical application of this principle is profound. You are called to live in alignment with God's pace, now cultivating a heart that is recently humble and steadfast. The small acts of faith, obedience, and discipline compound over time, creating a spiritual posture that allows acceleration to be sustainable and impactful. When the time comes to run, you will not stumble, hesitate, or falter. You will move with the confidence that comes from knowing God has prepared every detail and that your steps are synchronized with His divine will. Kingdom acceleration is therefore a combination of purpose, divine momentum, and spiritual readiness. It is about stepping forward with courage, trusting that God's hand is guiding every movement and allowing His Spirit to propel you beyond limitations. The moment is now. The call is clear. Run not in your own strength, but in the supernatural rhythm of God's kingdom, and watch as what once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. Before you can fully experience the acceleration God is releasing, It is essential to prepare both your heart and your environment. Internal readiness is the foundation of divine momentum. Your heart priorities and actions must be fully aligned with God's will. This means cultivating a spirit that is sensitive to His voice, steadfast in faith, and surrendered in every area of life. Alignment is not passive, it is active. It requires daily choices to center your desires, thoughts, and intentions on the purposes of heaven, rather than the distractions of the world. The more your heart is attuned to God, the more freely His acceleration can flow through your life without resistance. But internal readiness alone is not enough. External readiness is equally critical. God often works in ways that require clear pathways. Distractions, unresolved ties, and lingering attachments to the past can impede the flow of supernatural acceleration. To prepare for the run He is calling you into, you must actively release what He has already instructed you to let go. Relationships, habits, or commitments that no longer serve the trajectory He has planned. Think of it as clearing the runway before a plane takes off. Every obstruction removed allows for a smooth, unhindered launch. Preparing your environment is a spiritual discipline that demonstrates trust and obedience, signaling to heaven that you are ready to move when He says now. The principle at work is profound. Divine acceleration is always grounded in trust, not human effort. You cannot manufacture it, schedule it, or force it through sheer willpower. Your responsibility is to align your heart, clear your path, and cultivate readiness while placing full confidence in God's timing. When you choose obedience over delay, focus over distraction, and trust over striving, you position yourself to receive the momentum He has already prepared. This preparation is both intentional and holistic. It encompasses your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, faith, and spiritual discipline, as well as your external circumstances, including your relationships, priorities, and physical environment. Every step taken in readiness multiplies the impact of acceleration when it arrives. By the time God releases the full speed of His movement, your heart and environment will be fully synchronized to receive it, allowing you to run without hesitation, distraction, or fear. In essence, preparing the heart and environment is about trust in action. It is the conscious choice to align fully with God's timing, to release what holds you back, and to cultivate a life of readiness. When these preparations are in place, you are not merely moving, you are stepping into divine acceleration that will carry you into the fullness of your destiny with power, precision, and purpose. Having prepared your heart and environment, it is now time to step into a sacred moment of prayer and commitment, a divine activation that aligns your spirit with the acceleration God is releasing. This prayer is not merely words spoken. It is a declaration of readiness, a surrender of fear and doubt, and a spiritual positioning for the momentum of heaven to manifest in your life. As you pray, acknowledge God's perfect timing, His hand orchestrating every detail, and the acceleration He has promised for those who move in obedience. Recognize that this moment is not accidental. Heaven has aligned circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring your destiny to fruition. Begin by surrendering every fear, every lingering doubt, and every past failure that may have attempted to anchor your soul in hesitation. Lay down the weight of disappointment, the memories of missed moments, and the whispers of inadequacy. These are not your burdens to carry in the season of acceleration. Instead, entrust them fully to God, allowing His Spirit to replace uncertainty with confidence, weakness with strength, and confusion with clarity. This act of surrender is the key that unlocks the supernatural flow of divine momentum. As you enter deeper into alignment, pray for divine guidance, provision, and courage to navigate the new season. Ask God to illuminate the path before you open doors that no man can close, and provide everything necessary to step boldly into the opportunities He has prepared. Pray for relationships, resources, and spiritual insight to be perfectly synchronized with your calling. In this sacred moment, declare obedience not just in words, but in intention, affirming that every step you take will be in harmony with heaven's timing and purpose. Finally, make a personal declaration of readiness. I'm ready to run, God. I trust your pace. Speak these words boldly, committing your heart, your actions, and your life to move in sync with His divine plan. Let this be more than a statement. It is a covenant of obedience, a spiritual posture that signals to heaven your willingness to act when He commands. Encourage others to join in this declaration and commit to staying connected to ongoing revelation, subscribing and immersing yourself in the guidance and activation God continues to release. This prayer of activation is the gateway to stepping fully into the supernatural speed and alignment God has prepared. It bridges preparation with action, surrender with obedience, and faith with manifestation. When spoken with conviction, it positions you to receive the acceleration, favor, and provision that have been divinely orchestrated for your life. Today, your momentum begins. Run with courage, run with purpose, and run in alignment with the hand of God that has been guiding you all along. As we draw this message to a close, it is vital to pause and fully internalize the truth that has been revealed. The season of acceleration is not coming. It is already here. Heaven has moved. God has acted, and the momentum of your destiny is unfolding in real time. The waiting, the preparation, and the alignment were all leading to this exact moment. Doors are opening, paths are clearing, and the supernatural favor of God is intersecting with your life now. This is not a promise for the future. It is a present reality. What you have been longing for, praying for, and preparing for is happening while you hear this message. With this awareness, let your spirit be strengthened by the knowledge that you are chosen, prepared, and positioned for what lies ahead. Stay faithful in the small things, remain vigilant in your spiritual disciplines, and continue cultivating readiness in your heart and environment. Momentum will not wait for hesitation or doubt. Every step of obedience, every act of faith, and every choice to trust God's timing amplifies your acceleration. Your consistency in the unseen, your devotion in quiet moments, and your commitment to His principles create the foundation for breakthroughs that are both sudden and sustained. Now is the time to respond. The invitation is clear: move with courage, align with God's timing, and step into the assignments that have been tailored specifically for your life. Responding with obedience is the conduit through which divine acceleration manifests. Do not allow fear, comfort, or indecision to hold you back. The hand of God has gone before you, preparing the way, opening doors and clearing obstacles. Your responsibility is to run. When He says run, to trust. When He says trust. And to move when He says move. Remember, this acceleration is kingdom-driven, divine in origin and unstoppable in its design. You are not acting alone. The Spirit of God equips, guides, and empowers every step. The challenges you once saw as insurmountable are now opportunities for divine display. The blessings, positions, and influence that once seemed out of reach are now within your grasp because you have been faithful to align with God's will and timing. So, rise up, chosen one. Stand in the fullness of your preparation, embrace the momentum God has released, and run with unwavering confidence into your divine assignment. The acceleration is real, the favor is tangible, and your destiny is already in motion. Stay faithful, stay ready, and step boldly into the supernatural unfolding that has been orchestrated for your life. Today, obedience meets opportunity, and your moment has arrived.